Okay, in this video, we're going to be solving what I'm calling level 4 equations. These are equations that are not simplified on either side of the equal sign. So we first have to simplify and then solve. So equations we looked at, um, simplified equations would look like this, where each side of the equation is already simplified. So in this one, we need to do some simplifying first. So if you're not real strong with simplifying expressions, go back and watch the video about simplifying expressions. If you are, then let's take a look at this and get going. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw my line down the middle because I want to be able to remember the do-do rule after I get everything simplified. Here, I see that I have 3 times 4x plus 7. So I'm going to distribute that 3. I could also choose to divide by 3, but then I'd have to divide each of these terms by 3, and that just might get a little messy. So in this case, for me, I'm choosing to distribute the 3. So remember, that means I need to do multiply the 3 times the 4x and the 3 times 7. So 3 times 4x is 12x. 3 times 7 is positive 21. So this side is simplified. That's good and done. Let's take a look at the next one. I have 2x minus 5x minus 8. Now, if there were no parentheses here, if these parentheses were gone, then I could just simply combine my 2x and negative 8x to get negative 6x minus 5. However, those parentheses are not gone, so we have to think about this as 2x minus 5 and 2x minus negative 8. So let's first just bring down our 2x. And if I have a minus 5, that's negative 5. But if I have a minus negative 8, if we're subtracting a negative, those negatives become positive. So it's plus 8x. You can think about the little invisible 1 that is here, and that negative 1 needs to be distributed. Negative 1 times positive 5 is negative 5. Negative 1 times negative 8 is positive 8. Once I've done that, now I'm going to combine my like terms over here. So I've got 2x and 8x. I could also subtract these terms separately, which I've seen some of you do, and that works completely fine. I like to combine like terms, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to keep my 12x plus 21 over here. And then I'm going to combine my 2x and 8x to be 10x minus 5. So now I have a simplified equation. Both sides of the equation are simplified. So now I'm going to choose one of these terms to subtract first. Now, you could choose any one of them. Personally, for me, I like to keep my variables positive whenever possible. So I'm looking at my variables. I have a 12x and a 10x. So I'm going to choose to subtract 10x from both sides, and that is going to keep my variable positive. So over here, 10x minus 10x is 0. So that is eliminated, and all I have left is the negative 5. On this side over here, I have 12x minus 10x, which is 2x plus 21. Okay, so now I've got a nice little two-step equation here, and I need to subtract my 21 to get all of my numbers on one side and all of my variables on the other. So here, 21 minus 21 is 0. So those are now eliminated. I have 2x equals, and now here I'm going to think about this in the number line. If I'm starting at negative 5 and I'm going backwards 21. I'm going to start here and go back 21 more. So that's going to get me to negative 26. And remember, if you're struggling with those integers, check your work with the calculator. All right, for my last step, I have 2 times a number equals negative 26. I know that I need to do the opposite of multiplying by 2 to isolate that variable to get x all by itself. The opposite of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. And so over here, when I have 2 divided by 2, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So I'm left with 1x. Negative 26 divided by positive 2 is negative 13. So my answer is x equals negative 13. And you can go and plug in negative 13 at any one of these points to check your work. Usually the best to start with the original one in case you made an error somewhere below that. But our answer is x equals negative 13.